What's up, my boomers? It's me, Melanie Mac, here on my social commentary channel, Melanie Mac Go Boom. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'm wearing the same outfit as my last video because this is pre-recorded because I'm out for the weekend. That said, there may or may not be a video on Sunday as the time I'm recording this, so like May 7th. We'll see. It depends on when I get back, because today has just been a day getting ready for all this. So I'll let y'all know. But for today, I just wanted to do a Q&A video. I asked you all on my Instagram to ask me questions, and I said I would answer them here on my Go Boom channel. So that's what I'm doing. If you are not following me on Instagram, feel free to check out my link tree in the description below where you can do that. So let me just hop right in, okay? So first question, do you squat a lot? Because we see the results. Thank you. I have shared a couple pictures that did show some glute progress. Normally I do not. Most of my pictures I share showcase the abs or the shoulders. Because I put most effort into shoulders and back. Abs just happen when you're cutting. Now, when it comes to glutes, I don't like to show those a lot because, first of all, I don't want to look like I'm being suggestive, even if I'm, obviously not intending that. People already accuse me of it as it is, for just showing my standard gym pics. Secondly, I don't train glutes almost ever. And the reason why is because that is where my fat deposits more than anywhere else on my body. So if anything, my glutes are smaller now than they used to be. But any progress I've seen is just because, hey, I'm toning up more because I'm cutting fat. I've always been on the skinnier side, but I don't know, for some reason, skinny side, but the dump truck is always there. I just don't showcase it that often. So no, I don't squat that much. Now, as I cut more fat, I may decide I want to later, but, yeah, being as that's where my body naturally deposits fat more than anywhere else, I don't really train that as much because I'm not trying to make that any bigger because I don't want to look disproportionate. Given the rest of my body type, because I don't have a super curvy body type, so to me it just looks kind of funny when my body is mostly somewhat ruler shape with minor curves, and then suddenly just having a butt there. It looks weird to me, so that's why I do legs and squats and glutes sometimes, but not too often. I'll get more into detail about my routine later because I had some more questions on that. Any advice for people that might attract the rage from the woke mob, like what to do and etc.? Now, here's the thing is it's not hard to attract the woke mob. They will get mad at anything, okay? Now, usually if you have some sort of influence, that's when they're really going to target you. If you don't really have that much influence, then they're just going to ignore you because they care about controlling people. So anybody with any amount of influence and has any amount of follower base, that's if they you're doing something right, they're mad at you, because that means you have enough influence that they want to control you, and you have enough, your opinion holds enough that they're going to get mad at you. The more my social media grows and the more that it has grown, the more I've been targeted as a result. They hate it that someone on Twitter with over 100,000 followers has their own opinion, and they want to be able to control you. So my advice, if you ever get to the point to where they do target you, they don't like you, whatever it is, just be unapologetically yourself. Don't purposefully try to be super antagonizing, and I don't ever suggest that to anybody, but don't hold back. Go ahead and if you want to joke around, sometimes it is funny to kick the hornet's nest, not gonna lie, but yeah, just just be unapologetically yourself, okay? If they dig up something you said 10 years ago that you don't like, whatever. Who gives a freaking crap, dude? Who cares? Don't apologize. You don't have to apologize for something that you said forever ago that you don't align with now. You don't owe them anything. So whether it be that or anything else, don't apologize. They want that because they want to control you. And then if you do apologize, it's never enough. So whatever you do, don't bow to them at all. Do you do more cardio? I think that meant do you do more cardio or weights, not cardio weights? Or if you mean because there are some ways you can do HIIT with weights, for example, so high intensity weight training, which is more on the cardio side and stuff. Now, whenever I was first focused on putting on more weight and I put on 10 pounds of muscle, I focused mostly on lifting weights, just lifting heavy. I did little to no cardio. Now I did cardio when I was doing that marine training program thing, just simply because I needed to be able to run for that, thing that I was doing. If you don't know what that is, you can check that out on my Melanie Mac channel, youtube.com/Melanie Mac. Just look up Melanie Mac Marines. You'll find the whole video. But that was just a brief period. After that, I just did not do any cardio at all and just focused on weights, and I was able to build muscle that way. But now I am focused with summer coming up. I'm trying to cut because I want those like shredded muscle look. I want the gains that I've built to show more. So I'm trying to lean out a little more, even though I'm already lean. I want that shredded look. So I have incorporated more cardio. Now, I incorporated steady state cardio. I personally don't like high intensity cardio as much. Now, I've dabbled in it and I've tried it, but what that does is it does raise your cortisol. So I don't care what anybody says. I think steady state cardio is the best way to lose fat. I really do. And some people will say like, oh, but weights, you got afterburn and all that. I still am convinced that cardio, steady state cardio, burns more energy than lifting weights does. Okay. Now I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying with what my program is right now, where I've changed virtually nothing, but adding 3 hours of steady state cardio a week, I've even lightened up on some of the lifting days. I only lift 3 days a week now. And I am noticing a big difference in cutting fat right now. Like, I'm telling you. And I've tried different things, and this is what's working. Now, everyone will just say stuff like, oh, it's just about calories in versus calories out. And I think that is such dated things. When people say that, they're just very uneducated on macros. First of all, on macros. And there's just so much more to fat loss than just calories. First of all, calories are different depending on the macronutrient. A calorie is not a calorie. A calorie from protein is not the same as a calorie from fat, and the calorie from fat is not the same as a calorie from carbs, okay? So when it comes to fat loss, calories from protein are absolutely vital, okay? So if you were to stay, let's say you're in a deficit at 2,000 calories, okay? And you're eating 2,000 calories of primarily fat and carbs, you're going to get a far different experience than if you're eating 2,000 calories of primarily protein with some supplemental fat calories in there and minimal carbs, okay? So at the end of the day, now I can make a whole video about this, but what I'm going to say, just to kind of keep it succinct, is why steady state cardio works so well is because it burns through your glycogen stores, all right? So glycogen is the glucose in your body that your body uses for fuel, but there's a limited amount that your body is going to contain, all right? So you have a limited amount of glycogen, and once that glycogen is exhausted, that's when your body will tap into your fat stores for fuel. This is why low carb diets work so efficiently. People think that it's all calorie deficit, but no, you'll actually find in studies that people who eat an identical amount of calories and someone's doing low carb versus someone doing high carb, the low carb person will always lose more fat simply because of the science of it. And when it comes to glycogen stores, your body cannot tap into your fat stores if you have a lot of glycogen it needs to burn through that first, okay? So it's just simple science here. Now, when it comes to steady state cardio, all right, and fat loss in general too, you've got hormones that play a huge role. This is why people who are insulin resistant have a very difficult time losing fat. And what causes insulin resistance? A lot of it is carbs, okay? High carb diets, your standard American diets, all that. So before I go on a huge tangent on this, I do a balance right now. I eat a very high protein diet. Right now, I'm keeping my macros at about, for reference, I weigh about 120 pounds. All right. I weighed about 120 pounds last year when I had like 10 pounds less of muscle too. So now I have like 10 pounds less of fat or more, honestly, because muscle is more dense. So I put on like 10 pounds of muscle, but I weigh the same as I did like a year ago, or a year and a half ago when I had less muscles. So I went from like a little bit of skinny squishy to now skinny strobel with some muscle. And I'm still trying to cut some more fat, but while retaining the muscle just so I can get shredded. And then I might bulk some more in the fall or winter or whatever. We'll see. But this is where I'm at now. So that said, I do lift and I focus on upper body because that is my weakest compared to like, I don't know, like lower body, glutes and butt. Like I feel like, or glutes is butt, glutes and thighs, all that like muscles fine there. I'm strong enough there. It's the upper body that I really want to keep and retain so that I can have them more balanced and all that. And also help with that, trying to form that hourglass shape. So yeah, lifting weights like 3 days a week. And what I do is I'll lift for about 40 minutes and then I will go on the Stairmaster for 20 minutes on those lifting days. Then I'll have 2 or 3 days of just cardio and I go on Stairmaster for 40 minutes. Now, 30 to 40 minutes, dude. I'm telling you though, at 40 minutes, it does hurt my knees sometimes by that 6th day. I do feel it before I go to bed. My knees are kind of like, ah. But I like Stairmaster at a 4-speed pace. That's that sweet, steady state to where it's still like giving you a burn. Now, you can do this through brisk walking as well. People ask, like, what about jogging? Jogging is not steady state. I mean, you could do it if you want, but jogging is not steady state. It's going to increase your heart rate more and it's going to spike your cortisol more. Now, there's tons of people who are successful on high intensity cardio, but I personally prefer low intensity because of the cortisol spikes and because of the hormonal reasons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's just what's been really, I feel like I found my sweet spot. So now I'm just like, I'm ready for summer and I'm documenting everything. I feel like I'm actually on like a really good routine now. So time will tell and I will keep you guys updated on that. What's your current lifting program? I kind of just shared that. Went on a big tangent there. Someone else asked, how did you join the All Chat show with Dash? Now, for those of y'all who don't know, I was on this show called All Chat back in 2014, 2015. That was a League of Legends show. They showed it. I was on their YouTube channel and it was on their League of Legends client and all that kind of stuff. I used to play League so much. I started playing League in 2011 and kept playing it. Off and on. I took some breaks, but mostly was playing it hardcore for a while. I haven't played it in like a year or two, but other than that, I was playing it like all the time. I got on All Chat because I was reached out to by the agency / what do you call it? Like the film crew, all that. The people who produce the show, they reached out to me and a lot of other people and asked us to audition. And so I went and auditioned and I got the role and that's how that happened. But it's been a while. That's been years ago. But yeah. All right. What's your honest opinion on Papa Roach's new album? I think it's amazing. Their song Liar is so freaking on point. I love it. I listen to that when I'm like walking on the Stairmaster and it gives me that energy to keep going. I love it. Oh, did I skip through one? Someone says, you don't stream Fortnite anymore. Good observation. I do not. What motivated you to the carnivore diet? I have an entire video on this. I believe the title of it is called Why We Need Misinformation. So if you want to see this question answered, check that out in my videos. I uploaded it 2 months ago, something like that. So a month or two ago. So check that out here on my Melanie Mac Go Boom channel, Why We Need Misinformation. It has a picture of Joe Rogan on it because that's one of the... I first found out about carnivore from a Facebook group, but a keto Facebook group. But that's how I found out more was from Joe Rogan's podcast. So check that out if you want to know. What do you look for in a guy? Be Batman. That's my running joke. But no, for real though, the real honest answer in this, I want to be attracted to him. That's important. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody thinks you're shallow for wanting to be attracted for someone you're dating can go kick rocks. Attraction's important. There needs to be attraction. I look for good moral values. I don't like those player manho types. Just don't like them. I also want a guy who's like, that has similar like faith to me. That's like a Christian and like someone that, we can grow in our faith together. That's important. Someone who's employed. Because after you've been with someone who's not employed, never again. So yeah, I think those are the basic fundamentals. I'm not too picky on other stuff when it kind of like, because some people are just like, oh, does he have to be a gamer? Does he have like, no, honestly, no. In terms of hobbies and this and that, no, I don't expect someone to have to be exactly like me. But I just think you have your fundamental things: attraction, be employed, be a Christian, like, so we can align spiritually. And obviously you need chemistry and a friendship and all that kind of stuff. There's just so many elements that go into it. How do you maintain your sanity in this new age weird world? The real answer is I don't, especially since I'm perpetually online. I really don't. Best way I can try to maintain my sanity is like taking breaks. Sometimes I won't be on social media as much as usual. And when that happens, it's because I need a break, dude. Because people on Twitter act like they're hangry. I can't. There are times where I'm like, okay, let me post my opinion on something. And I'll do that and I'll get a lot of backlash. I'll get a lot of people mad at me. And, it's to be expected. I posted a strong opinion on something. Well, then I'm like, hey, I'm going to stay away from the drama today. Let me just post some gym selfies today. Well, then people be mad about that too. You can't win ever. As an introvert, are you more attracted to a man who's louder than you or a strong silent type? I think when it comes to what I'm attracted to, either. There's not a specific type that I feel like I am attracted to, but I will say in my dating experience, which surprisingly hasn't been like too much, I find that it's easier. Okay, because I am more introverted, so it is easier for me to date extroverts than it is introverts. Not that I like extroverts any better than introverts particularly, but it's typically easier because I'm not going to be the type that's going to initiate conversation and stuff all the time, whether it be in person or through text or setting up dates or anything like that. That's not going to be me to do that because I am more introverted, and I'm also like, I'm a little traditional in that sense, but then I'm also like, oh, I don't want to bother them, that kind of stuff. Like, that's always on my mind. So whenever I have dated more extroverted guys, it's a lot easier for me, and it typically goes smoother because they just handle everything, and I like that. But I do like introverted guys too, but when I've tried dating introverted guys, it just goes nowhere because we're both like, okay, there's got to be somebody that's got to like take the reins, dude. Take the reins and move things along. And that's not going to be me. So that's why that is the way it is. But I'm extremely single right now. Yeah, I've been single for the past 2 years. Dated a little bit, but nothing has ever stuck, which is fine. I'm waiting for the right guy, and I'll wait however long I need to. All right, do you think the tide is eventually going to turn on these cancel culture people? I think it already is. People are getting sick of it, and when cancel culture people are canceling their own people, so pretty like simple math will say that they're gonna run out of members in their movement once they keep canceling them. Do you have a Discord? I would love to join. If you do, yes, check out the link tree in my description. I have my Discord server there. There's all kinds of stuff you can talk about, modern topics that are going on, my Go Boom videos. You can offer suggestions for topics for my Go Boom videos. And there's also a prayer request segment if you want to talk about your prayer requests. And I believe every Sunday they also do a prayer meeting. So if you'd like to participate in that, you can either you can join in on voice and listen, or you can talk and pray out loud. I know there's a couple of prayer leaders I have there who do, and it's a really wonderful place. So check that out. Overwatch main. My Overwatch main is Junkrat. I don't know how many of y'all see. I have this Junkrat hoodie that I've been wearing constantly for years now. It's my go-to. I love Junkrat as a character, just everything about him. I love his kit, and I also just love just the character in general, just so over the top, crazy. Love him. All right, favorite / dream car. Honestly, I don't really have one. I drive a 2018 Honda Fit. It's Steelers yellow and with some black. It's a sport, so it's have some like black on it as well, and it looks like a Steelers mobile. I love it. I guess that's my dream car. It's funny because, like, I'm not fueled by material possessions for the most part. I mean, there's certain things I like certain video games, or if I want, like, a nice camera to film my videos on and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the more of a minimalist of sorts. Not like I'm not a minimalist, but the less I find value in items. Okay? I just have zero desire to drive a big fancy car. I have zero desire to have a mansion. I have zero, like, all this, it's just like, it just seems pointless to me. So no, I don't have like a fancy dream car. Aesthetic surgery. Yes, no, not now, not ever. I've never had any surgeries for aesthetic purposes. I've had like my tonsils and adenoids removed, but that was for health reasons. And then when I was a kid, I had cat scratch fever and I had like this big cyst right here. I had to have that removed. But no, I've not had any aesthetic surgery, and I don't plan to. I think that when it comes to surgery and injectables, I think especially injectables are very toxic. Now, I did in the past, years ago, I don't know, I kind of fell into it. It was like, let me see what all the hype's about. Got lip injections. They looked so stupid on me, and I didn't realize it at first because I was just like, oh, everybody's doing it. I need to see what it's about. And I look back at my pictures and videos when I had those lip injections, and I'm just like, oh, no. And I got those dissolved, 3 years ago? Never looked back. I don't plan on it. I also used to get Botox in my jaw, but it was for because I had TMJ. I had an overbite until I got braces. Invisalign. And so the masseter muscles here would get so swollen and stuff, and so they'd put Botox in it to kind of relax them. So I don't know if you can see some of my older videos and stuff, though it actually made my jaw smaller. So and like you'll find on my really old videos, my face is shaped like it is more or less now, maybe a little bit bigger because I was younger and had more fat around my face. And then you'll see like 2014, 15 especially, that's when my jaw was smaller because I was getting that done. I got the Invisalign treatments and stuff, and I haven't had any Botox in years. I don't like having foreign stuff like that injected in me, and I do not plan on doing it unless I need to for some sort of health reason. So, yeah. What do women find attractive in guys, and what do you make of the dating environment now? Every woman is different. Every woman's going to have her own type. Every woman is going to be attracted to a different type of guy and a different type of personality, all that kind of stuff. So this isn't really a unanimous thing. But in terms of dating environment now, I don't like dating culture right now because hookup culture is so prevalent, and I don't like it at all. Yeah. I don't like it. Don't like it, not for me. I don't do casual stuff, and so the dating pool is very limited when it comes to people who are on the same page as me, and it's like, oh, it is what it is, it's fine, but I'm not participating in any of this casual hookup culture. That's just not for me. I don't need it. How long do you think aliens have been living among us? I don't believe in aliens in the sense of how a lot of people do. I think that, just from what I read in the Bible and all that kind of stuff, like God made the universe for us, humans. And the way that the Bible describes the world and the universe being created and all that kind of stuff, I know some people disagree with me, but there's not room for aliens in that. That said, I think that the government and all that you're getting me all in conspiracy talk here, but whenever aliens visit us, I believe that they will actually be demons and not actually aliens. I do think that there's a very plausible theory of Satan trying to bring Nephilim back. And if you studied Nephilim at all, and like in the days of Noah, where fallen angels had have relations with the human women and created Nephilim babies, which turned into giants. So if aliens were to come back, I was going to make an entire video on this, but I don't know. I don't have the energy for it for multiple reasons. But if you look at what's being implanted in our brains right now, when people are talking about aliens, there's so much like stuff. Look at like Mass Effect, for example. You get to have relations with aliens. Look at, like NASA saying that they're hiring theologians and priests to prepare us for aliens. In my opinion, that is to get religious people on board, because we'll know what's up. We'll know it's not actual aliens. We'll know it's freaking demons, but they don't want us to think that, because they don't want us to know the truth. So they want to find a way to convince us that they are actual aliens, and they do want us to reproduce with aliens. Okay? They want us to reproduce with they want to create Nephilim again, essentially, in my opinion. Now, y'all probably think I sound crazy, but I don't even freaking care, dude. So, I mean, look at what... Oh, what the crap. I can't remember the celebrity's name to save my life. They came out as non-binary, that singer, who said that they wanted to marry an alien or whatever. Oh, yeah, I'd totally date an alien. They got celebrities on board. Dude, they are trying so freaking hard, dude. They are trying so hard to get us on board to start sleeping with aliens. They want us to create the Nephilim race again. I ain't about it. Y'all have fun, because I ain't doing that. What does a full day of eating look like for you? Normally, lately, I just eat beef and eggs. Sometimes I'll have, like, a protein bar as well, because I will admit I do have a sweet tooth, so it is difficult for me to sometimes not have any. I'm mostly strict carnivore, but, I'll have some keto days, but these days, yeah, it's mostly like London broil. I'll cook in the crock pot. I'll cook like 3 pounds of London broil. Usually I'll eat about 2 pounds of it a day, and then I'll have like 4 to 6 eggs. I soft boil them, put that on there, and eat that. And I split it in like 2 meals. And then sometimes I'll have a protein bar or two, if it's a keto macros. So, I mean, it's pretty basic, but just beef and eggs primarily. I mean, that's what makes me feel my best, is when I eat that. Now, some days I'll be more flexible than others. Right now I'm on a cut, so I'm trying to stay very, very more. You know what though? I'm trying to do. I'm gonna start on Monday, beef and shrimp. Take the eggs out, and do just beef and shrimp for the rest of the month. So like 2 pounds of beef, a pound of shrimp. So we'll see how that works. All right. Let me hop into the verse of the day. I picked New Living Translation for this because I really liked how it reads. Okay. Now I think that it still meant the same, and I read a lot in the ESV, but it still means the same, but I like how this reads so that I can illustrate it better. It says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand." Okay, so obviously this is, context of a specific situation, but it made me think. I was like, holy crap, when we do things, okay, like just to think that God rejoices, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so special. So I'm just thinking, like, think of things that you're doing in your life that glorify God, whether it doesn't even have to be completely based on that. Now, obviously, God likes it when we share his word and things like that, but just think about something, think about when maybe you buy food for a homeless person and you don't post about it. You're not doing it for glory. You just do it. Or maybe you just, even something so small as share a Bible verse on your Instagram story. And maybe that really, somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to read that day. To you, it seems so small, but just think about it. God can be up there rejoicing over that. I say up there. I think it's so easy to view God just being way up in heaven looking down on us, but I have to remind myself God is within us. So I think we're so easily conditioned to think about God just looking down at us like, oh, okay, all right, I see you, good job. But no, God is experiencing life with us, and that's why God is right there in us. Our bodies are temple for God. And so I have to remember that. It's a different perspective. And so it really puts things into perspective a lot different than God just being like, oh, okay, whoa, okay, little ant down there, I saw what you did. Instead, God is like right here, seeing it all, like right in our hearts, and rejoicing. So that's special. So don't ever feel insignificant whenever you're doing something, and because you might not have a huge platform or something like that, you're not insignificant. And when you do things, that glorify God, God notices and God rejoices over that. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. As another reminder, I may not have a video on Sunday, on May 7th. It just depends on when I get back home. But otherwise, I'll see you on Monday. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.